I damaged my face, protecting my sister from a freak dog attack, but she uninvited me from her engagement as I would ruin the photos. So, my parents refused to pay for her wedding, and now she is begging for forgiveness. I, 30M, never imagined I'd be locked out of my own sister's engagement ceremony, especially after I nearly sacrificed my life to save hers. But that's exactly what happened. 2 years ago, while walking home from a late shift, I saw her pinned against a fence by a snarling stray dog. She'd been cornered, terrified, screaming for help. Without thinking, I lunged forward, yanking the animal away. The dog turned its fury on me, ripping at my cheek and arm. It took animal control to restrain it. My sister was shaken but unscathed, thanks to my intervention. I, on the other hand, walked away with deep scars across my face. Surgeries lessened the damage, but I'm still left with visible marks, a permanent testament to how far I'd go to protect her. Initially, she was grateful. Her tears, her hugs, her vow to repay me in any way. That moment felt like we'd grown closer, forging an unbreakable bond. Our parents insisted on covering my medical bills, praising me as a hero. My father said, "You saved your sister's life. We owe you forever." I shrugged, saying she was family. But something shifted over time. I noticed my sister's expression flicker whenever she saw the scars, as if she disliked being reminded of that traumatic night. We never really talked about it, but I sensed she grew uneasy around me. Fast forward to her engagement. She met a nice guy, from what I gathered, and they planned a big ceremony at a fancy venue. I was excited. My sister was happy and in love, or so it seemed. I kept expecting an invitation to the engagement party, but days went by in silence. I assumed invites were forthcoming. Our parents had definitely mentioned the date and place, but nothing official came my way. I asked my sister once in passing, "Hey, am I supposed to receive something for your event?" She grew evasive. "We're still finalizing, don't worry." The day of the engagement arrived, and oddly, I was still invitationless. My father and mother texted that morning about seeing me at the ceremony. I planned to show up after work, albeit feeling unsettled, but then I got a cryptic message from my sister. "Maybe you shouldn't come. It's a small gathering, mostly fiancé's relatives, you know." I read it thrice, my stomach twisting. My father and mother had told me it was a big event, with friends and extended family. Why exclude me? I tried calling my sister for clarity, but she declined my calls. So I decided to step back, not wanting to crash if she truly didn't want me there. My father and mother called in the afternoon, but I ignored them out of confusion. Maybe my sister said the ceremony was canceled? My head spun with possibilities. By evening, it was obvious something was off. My father's calls multiplied, but I was too upset to pick up. That's how the entire day passed. Me alone at home, phone buzzing, heart pounding with a sense of betrayal. Late that night, my father finally caught me on the phone. He sounded both worried and irritated. "Where are you? The ceremony ended hours ago. Why didn't you come?" I exhaled shakily. "She told me not to, said it was small, mostly fiancé's relatives." There was a long pause. My father asked slowly, "She uninvited you? Did she really say that?" I told him exactly how she phrased it, how I was never given a formal invitation to begin with. My father cursed under his breath. "Stay where you are, we're coming over." Within the hour, my father and mother arrived at my apartment, faces etched with anger and confusion. My father demanded every detail. My mother looked crestfallen, repeating, "But we saw so many friends there. She never told us you wouldn't attend." Then, my father's eyes flickered with understanding. "Could it be she was worried about your scars in the photos?" My stomach clenched. I'd suspected that might be the reason, but hearing it from him stung. It all started to align. My sister had grown self-conscious about how I'd appear in group pictures, especially with her fiancé's well-to-do family present. I remember once overhearing her bemoan how wedding photos should be perfect. So it wasn't shocking if she decided my facial scars ruined the aesthetic. My father said quietly, "She's gone too far. We can't let her treat you like an eyesore." They left, seething, planning to confront her after the post-ceremony party. I told them not to do anything rash, but inside I appreciated their outrage. They'd financed much of her engagement and planned to pay for the wedding. She basically used them too, plastering on a sweet smile for funds while secretly excluding me. My father said, "This is about more than money. It's about respect." The next day, I got texts from old family friends saying the engagement party was lavish, a big success, except for the drama at the end. My parents apparently pulled my sister aside, demanded an explanation for my absence. She tried to brush it off as a misunderstanding, claiming he said he was busy or it was short notice. My father didn't buy it. He confronted her, point blank, asking if she was ashamed of me. That's when she confessed something cruel. She implied my scars would overshadow the beauty of her engagement photos, that people might gawk or pity me. I only wanted perfect pictures. She apparently said, all but confirming she banished me for her vanity. My mother told me later how outraged my father was. He announced on the spot, "We're done funding your wedding if you treat your brother like trash." My mother added, "He might be your father, but I support him fully. You can't take your brother's sacrifice for granted." The fiancé, from what I heard, stood there speechless, uncertain how to handle the blow-up. My sister tried to spin it, saying she didn't want negativity overshadowing the ceremony. She painted me as if I might draw pity or drama. My father was unmoved. He told her bluntly, "If your definition of negativity is your own brother's presence, then you can pay for your own wedding." The fallout was immediate and chaotic. My sister, fuming at the ultimatum, insisted our father was overreacting, that she had the right to orchestrate her perfect day. She refused to apologize, claiming it was her event and she should control the guest list. My father stood firm, telling her if she could so callously exclude me, then her wedding expenses were her own problem. My mother, usually the peacemaker, was too offended to intervene. She saw how deeply my sister's cruelty cut me. News spread among relatives that my parents had withdrawn their financial support. This was no small blow, as my sister had relied on them to cover the entire wedding cost. She tried pleading with them privately, but father told me afterwards, "She's not sorry for hurting you. She's only sorry she lost our checkbook." My sister then tried flipping the script, telling extended family that I was drama, that if I'd shown up with my scars, I'd overshadow her big moment. Some relatives were appalled, others tried to remain neutral, but no one could deny the magnitude of her entitlement. Her fiancé was in a tough spot. I heard from a cousin that he approached father quietly, trying to see if there was a compromise. But father wouldn't budge. If she can't include her own brother, who saved her life from a dog attack no less, then we want no part in enabling her. The fiancé apparently was confused, not fully grasping the dog story's significance, since it happened before they dated. He only knew rumors that I'd been severely injured. My father set him straight, detailing how I'd nearly died saving her. The fiancé realized the seriousness, but my sister still refused to yield. "It's my day," she repeated, as if that alone justified banishing me. Within a week, her wedding plans began to crumble. Venues demanded deposits. Vendors started calling about delayed payments. My father had cut off the financial spigot. She didn't have that kind of cash on her own. She tried approaching me with an apology, though it reeked of desperation. She arrived at my apartment, eyes puffy, and said, "I'm sorry you felt excluded. But I had reasons. My fiancé's family is strict about appearances." She insisted the scars would be too distracting. I stared at her, disbelief and hurt swirling. "You realize I have these scars because I shielded you from a vicious animal, right? That if I hadn't, you might not be alive, and that's less important than your pictures?" She pouted, tears forming, but I saw little genuine remorse. "I'm sorry," she repeated. "I just wanted a perfect engagement. People are so judgmental. I'm sure you understand." The audacity stung. "You'd rather protect your image than include the brother who saved you. That's cold," I said. She tried to claim I was being too sensitive, that I was punishing her. That's when I told her that the wedding fiasco was entirely her doing, that father and mother wouldn't budge unless she truly acknowledged her wrongdoing. Instead, she huffed, "Well, then you can explain to father he's punishing me unfairly," and stormed out. Days turned to weeks. She scrambled to salvage the wedding, but vendors demanded money up front. Her fiancé's family wasn't prepared to cover the entire cost, and my sister's own savings were nowhere near sufficient. She tried calling mother, sobbing about how unfair this was, how father was holding her wedding hostage. Mother calmly replied, "You brought this on yourself. Apologize sincerely, fix what you've done to your brother." My sister refused. Pride overshadowed reason. Meanwhile, father canceled the venue reservations in his name, severing all financial ties. The wedding date loomed, yet invitations never went out. The fiancé apparently pressed her to reconcile, but she doubled down, calling me stubborn for not letting it go. Meanwhile, I carried on quietly. My father told me if she ever gave a heartfelt apology, he'd consider partial funding again. But it was clear she only wanted me for her photo ops after I'd gotten rid of my scars, which wasn't even possible. She was missing the entire point of family unity. Finally, a meltdown occurred. My sister realized she couldn't pay for the wedding. She caved, sort of. She texted me, "I realize I messed up. Please talk to father. I want to fix this." I invited her over, hoping for an honest apology. Instead, she arrived with a contrived speech about I was stressed, I wanted a perfect engagement, you shouldn't have taken it personally. She never owned up to the cruelty of excluding me. I shook my head. That's not an apology, you're just blaming the circumstances. She burst into tears, demanded we meet with father together. I hesitated but agreed, figuring maybe we could find closure. When we got there, father and mother were calm, waiting for a sign of sincere regret. Instead, she repeated her half-baked excuses. My father's expression hardened. "Until you truly understand you were wrong, we're not paying a dime." My mother added gently, "Your brother's scars are a symbol of his love for you. You spat on that gift." Finally, she snapped. She hurled accusations that we were sabotaging her happiness, that father was controlling. My father stood up, voice trembling with anger. "If you can't see your own wrongdoing, we're done." She realized the conversation was over. Furious, she stomped out, fiancé trailing behind, eyes wide in disbelief. In the end, the wedding was canceled. Her fiancé's family refused to foot the entire bill, especially seeing her hostility toward me. She tried to hush it up, blaming scheduling conflicts, but everyone in our circle knew the real story. She tried a last-minute vow exchange at a cheap courthouse, but evidently the fiancé lost enthusiasm for a ceremony overshadowed by drama. Through it all, I maintained my stance. If she valued me so little that a scar overshadowed our sibling bond, I wouldn't placate her. Father and mother backed me fully, reaffirming that if she can't respect the sacrifice I made, she doesn't deserve their financial support. She ended up with no extravagant engagement, no fairy tale wedding, just the harsh consequences of her vanity.